Hello, Robert Delgado here with my data visualization final project under Professor Curran Kelleher. Humanity's role in recent temperature increase has been under much debate. Some believe that humans have played a large role in climate change, while others believe that the increasing global temperatures are due to the Earth's natural cycles. However, despite one's political or ideological tendencies, an overwhelming 97% of mainstream scientists believe that global warming exists and is in large part due to human activity, in particular to greenhouse gas emissions. This sparked my curiosity, and I decided to visualize annual greenhouse gas emissions by country for the top 10 greenhouse gas emitters from 1990 to 2013. I chose that time frame only because the data was available for that particular time frame. So let's go to the visualization right now. This visualization consists of three parts. The leftmost main visualization shows cumulative greenhouse gas emissions by country from 1990 to 2013 for the top 10 greenhouse gas emitters. Each vertical line corresponds to a country and is color-coded. The top circles have an area proportional to that country's population, and the height of each of the smaller circles is proportional to the cumulative greenhouse gas emissions since 1990 for that country, and each circle corresponds to a year. So for example, this top circle corresponds to 2013, and its height is proportional to the cumulative greenhouse gas emissions from 1990 to 2013. The next one is 2012, and its height is proportional to the cumulative greenhouse gas emissions for that country from 1990 to 2012. Now let's move to the top right visualization. This visualization shows the annual greenhouse gas emissions for each country. And as in the main visualization, each country is color-coded. Each circle corresponds to a year. The y-axis corresponds to annual greenhouse gas emissions in tons for that country for that year. And of course, the x-axis corresponds to the year in question. Now let's move to the rightmost bottom visualization. This visualization shows the annual greenhouse gas emissions per capita for each country. And as in the other two visualizations, each country is color-coded. And as in the rightmost top visualization, the circles correspond to years. Now, let's move to the main visualization. If we hover over the population circles, we'll see that the population for that particular country shows up as a tooltip. Furthermore, the stem or the vertical line on the main visualization highlights, along with the corresponding series in the other two visualizations, in the annual greenhouse gas emissions visualization and the greenhouse gas emissions per capita visualization. Now let's hover over one of the smaller circles that correspond to year. So if we do that for any country, we'll first note that all of the circles that correspond to that year highlight on all of the visualizations. We'll also notice that the line from the current year to the previous year also highlights, and that represents the annual greenhouse gas emissions for that country for that year. And we'll also note that that the corresponding same data highlights on the annual greenhouse gas emissions visualization, and the corresponding year highlights for the greenhouse gas emissions per capita data. Now we can move to either of the other two visualizations, and we'll find that the circles are all linked amongst all of the visualizations in this. And just Here's a little cool effect. I think that's pretty cool. And one more thing, the thing that I'm actually most proud of is that this particular visualization responds to resize, as seen here. This turned out to be the most difficult feat in creating this visualization. Now, as for the content of the visualization, a couple things are obvious. Number one, the US has consistently been one of the top 2 greenhouse gas emitters since 1990. But we'll also notice that China started out in 1990 as number 2 and then began to outpace the United States in 2005 in annual greenhouse gas emissions. We'll also note that when we look at the greenhouse gas emissions per capita, that they're really separated into 2 tiers: the United States and Canada, so the North American countries, and the rest of the world. And we'll also note that the countries that are largely developed tend to have higher greenhouse gas emissions per capita. So we see here Germany, and then the UK, Japan, and then we get to the lower tier like Mexico and Indonesia and Brazil. I'm very proud of this work, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to learn visualization concepts through D3JS. I thank Professor Kelleher for his patience and his time in helping me, and I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.